Hello guys, the G-Man here, and let's check out the Epic Mega Game Sale. So it's on the Epic Game Store, and I know the Epic Game Store was part of a controversial discussion. For example, it started with the Metro Exodus thing. It was ditched on Steam and was an Epic Game Store exclusive, and this was really a controversial step. So everyone who pre-ordered it on Steam could still keep it and play it, but everyone who just wanted to get a new version of this game had to install the Epic Game Installer, and this is of course quite a problem. So we continued from this on, and then there was quite a other controversy regarding Randy Pitchfork. So um, there were some things mentioned there, and he also said that Borderlands 3 won't be on Steam anymore, but of course it will transition over to the Epic Games Store. Okay, so these are on the one hand exclusive games, and of course there are ideas that the developers get more money from the Epic Game Store, so Steam takes a quite large cut, and the Epic Game Store should take a smaller cut from the developers, and this was mentioned somewhere, but this is not the main reason we're talking here about. But until now, I bought my games mainly on Steam. So, for example, when I checked Steam, I often saw things like, wow, a discount of 66%, or I don't know, 5%, 75%, things like that. And that's quite okay. Really nice deals. And the problem that I personally had with Epic Game Store was I went there and I checked it, and there were nearly no deals. So maybe one or two games discounted around 10 or 20%. Of course, they have another really cool thing, and this is the free game. So you get every 2 weeks another free game, and this is quite a cool idea, but I think it's still not the best option when all the other games are really expensive. And I don't know when I started using the Epic Game Store. It's a few months ago, and I used it, and I always thought, okay, let's check the games here, and let's check the games on the new Epic Game Store, on Steam, on GOG, good old games. And they also quite often have some nice deals. For example, I got 3 games in a bundle, and I only wanted one of the games, but it was as expensive as only this one game on Steam. And then I got the other 2 games, and they were quite good. And I'm really happy that I did this. And of course, GOG sometimes also has free games, but not every 2 weeks. And I have to say, the games here that are for free are quite decent most of the time. There was Slime Rancher, and I don't know, I think The Witness, and some other games. So, really decent games, and of course, you just have to log in, you don't have to pay any money, you can just start here. Okay, but my main gripe was that Steam was still using better deals or giving you better deals. And this has changed a little bit. Okay, but why did it change? So, for example, we had the controversy regarding Metro Exodus. Okay, and of course, this was quite bad publicity for Epic Games. Then the thing with Borderlands 3, yes, and now they started slowly to yes, give us some halfway decent deals. And when you look at this, you see that the deals are quite okay. I think the most important idea is that you're getting 10 euros or $10. For example, I can check this site here and it goes into the details of the money. So for example, when you live in the United States, you get $10. When you live in Europe, you get 10 euros, of course. But on the other hand, in Great Britain, as soon as you buy a game for more than 13 or basically 14 pounds, you get 10 pounds discount. So this is more than 10 euros. So the discounts there are quite decent. And of course, if we compare this to the Polish money, it's nearly the same. So it's always the same amount. Um, but what's interesting here are really decent for for the um, for the games. When you look at when you look at the Mega Games sales, mm, for example, if you would like to buy Borderlands, okay, we have problems here with the age restriction. But for example, if we would like to buy, Ashen is even discounted heavily. But what are other games? So, for example, if you would say, I would like to buy Control, you could just buy Control for 49 euros. That's quite a good deal. It's really decent. Or what else? So Slime Rancher here, also quite a decent deal. Or if you would like to buy Vampire, I know it was discounted quite some times, but you could get it for 39 euros. So this is also quite a good deal. And other games. Of course, there are some things that are not discounted as much. For example, Flower here. So just €1 discount, that's nearly anything. Or Metro Redux, this is quite a discount. So let's look further through the games. Outer Worlds coming soon, also an Epic Store exclusive. Okay, so we have here some games, but not the games that I would like to show you. So let's see all the games. All the other games. No, these are not the games that I would like to show you. No, not this, but for example Metro. Okay, so let's continue to Metro. Let's search Metro and Metro Exodus. Of course, okay, so let's just continue to the content for 18 plus, and the edition is discounted quite nicely. So for 34, basically 45 euros before, you get quite a decent deal. So it's discounted a little bit and it has the Epic discount. And I think this is the step that can make the Epic Games Store competitive in a way. So, for example, when you compare it to other games, the discounts are there, they're okay, but most of the time the discounts are not as great as the Steam discounts. So here are so many games and discounted so much, and the overview and the way you can use and search all the different games is just so much better. And I think this is really a problem. And of course, all or some news outlets also mentioned this. So, for example, uh, WCCF Tech talked about this. And there also is another controversy, um, because some base prices seem to have increased before. So I have to say this is nothing new. It's sometimes also the case on Steam, but so in general you get still quite decent deals, but there seem to be a catch sometimes. So if you want to get really the best deals, try to just check all the pages, check the Epic Game Store, check of course Steam, and decide for yourself. I would say that with this step, the Epic Game Store just became competitive. Before I just logged in, I grabbed my free game, and then I went away. I thought about playing Metro Exodus. It seems to be quite a nice game. I liked the other Metro games before. I think they were technically flawed sometimes, but the atmosphere was quite decent. And yes, I think it's okay. You can use it. It's competitive now. But the basic idea is still to compare prices, to think for yourself, to say, okay, maybe I will get this, maybe I will get that. This might be cheaper here, this might be cheaper there. And of course, the basic idea is that the developers get more money here. So when you just get the Epic Games um, from the Epic Games Store, and of course, especially the games that use the Unreal Engine, they have quite quite some discounts for the developers. So, for example, if the developer uses the Unreal Engine, they get a really decent discount for using it. And this might help quite some developers. And then there are some really strange things that I can't understand. For example, if you get this game here, The Division 2, as far as I understand, it just activates the game and then it sends you to the launcher of the Division. So this should be a Ubisoft game. So it would be a Ubisoft launcher. And I think this is quite pointless. So why buy the game on another store and then be redirected with another launcher? So I think this is pointless. If you have a game somewhere, just make it active with your platform. For example, on Steam, I think this is not as often the case. But if I remember correctly, it might still be the case for some games. Okay, but I think I rambled on long enough. Um, there are quite some nice games, quite some decent things. I think the Unreal Engine is a great development platform. It it uses something decent that's called Vulkan. It's better performance-wise than DirectX 12 or DirectX 11, and if it is implemented correctly, it helps the developers quite a lot. So I hope many people will start using the Unreal Engine, and of course I hope that the developers will start to use this Vulkan API. This could help really create better games and yes, help the players. I know Vulkan is even better with AMD hardware. So, for example, the new Vega 64 and 56 graphic cards are quite well using this Vulkan API, but also the Nvidia graphic cards are also using it quite well, and it should be used by most developers. That's my idea. And the best thing is it also works on Linux and on older platforms. So for example with DirectX 12 you need to have Windows 10. I'm not a big fan of Windows 10. I have Windows 7. I think it's still quite a good operating system, And if Microsoft would just add DirectX 12, I think World of Warcraft enabled some functions of DirectX 12 for the users, but Vulkan just has this for everyone, and I think this is the next step, and we should go this step. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. If yes, that's quite nice. Not, your advice is welcomed, and yes, maybe we'll see each other again or listen each other again. Okay, bye.